Today on the channel, we're going to learn how to play Ripley by Van Halen. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to learn how to play Ripley by Van Halen. This is a beautiful instrumental song that Eddie wrote back in 1983. It was in between the Diver Down and 1984 albums. Eddie was doing a soundtrack for a movie called The Wildlife. The Wildlife came out in 1984. Many of you already know this, but some of you may not. So if you go back and listen to the Wildlife soundtrack, there's a lot of really cool Eddie Van Halen instrumental stuff. Ripley was never released on the Wildlife soundtrack for some reason. It also featured Eddie's Ripley guitar. Ripley guitar was the guitar that could put a string in different areas of the mix. Each string, all 6 strings could be mixed somewhere in the sound spectrum. So if you look at the thumbnail that I'm going to put up in the video, that's a picture of Eddie's Ripley guitar. Eddie was always very inspired by new gear, like all of us. And evidently he wrote this song very inspired with this Ripley guitar. The song is tuned up half a step. Normally Eddie tuned down half a step, but this song is actually tuned up to a semitone above standard. So it's in D major. So if you're playing along with me, I'm tuned to the track that's on YouTube. I'll also drop the link for Ripley in the description. Many of you know this song is Blood and Fire off of A Different Kind of Truth when they put lyrics to it. I prefer the instrumental version. I think it has a lot more energy, and it's just great to hear Eddie play instrumentally. So another thing, today is Eddie Van Halen's birthday, and I thought this would be a great tribute to the king himself to do a version of Ripley and release it for y'all the next day. So let's take a look at it. The introduction to this song is the most difficult part of this tune. There's some pretty tricky fingerings in this, and letting the notes ring out is very important, and hopefully I'll get it right, and I won't have to do any editing, but the introduction is tricky. So let's take a look at it. The chords that this introduction play off of are a C9, okay, which is basically, you know, it's just a C chord, but it's got the D on the 3rd fret on the B string, and then we're going to play a G like this. Most people know a G like this, but we're going to play it like this, which is with the major 3rd on the bass, and then we're going to bring this down to a B flat. Okay, notice my pinky or my ring finger always stays on the 3rd fret on the B string. So Eddie loves sus chords, and this note here is the sus 4 of the A, and the song goes to D. So he really plays with this D. He keeps this D in the back of your mind for that this whole intro, so he can resolve it to this A before he starts in the beginning with the D. Okay, so always keep this finger on this D. And there's a little bit of arpeggiating going on with these chords, and it sounds like this. I'll do my best to perform it flawlessly or close, then I'll break it down for you. All right, so that's the beginning. So what we're doing is we're going to do that twice. So what I'm doing is, there's the first part. That's the low C, open G, and then the D on the B string, and then the high G on the high E string. We're gonna pull off can't really hear it, but I'm pulling off. You could pick it. So there, I'm going back down to this D after we go. So then open E and strum back down to the G. And then there's this lick, which is an open G string. Then we're on the D string on the 4th fret and the D string on the 2nd fret, which is basically G, F sharp, E, and then we go back to. And this chord, the B, or the G with the B on the bass. So what I did there was, I'm playing the B flat, the open G, and then this D on the B string on the 3rd fret, and then the open E, and we're gonna ride up like that, so go. And then we're gonna go B flat. This is a hard one. So it's pointer finger on the B flat. We keep this ring finger on the D on the B string, and we're gonna go B flat, open G, and then this D. Then we're gonna go. So it's pinky, middle finger, open. And then we're going to play the A chord like this. And I got the sus4 with the pinky on this D. Open E, so it's all 5 strings. We resolve like that. So from the very beginning, slowly. Awesome. All right. Then we got this lick. Goes. So that's basically the A sus. And I recommend playing it with just one finger and then doing the sus4 with the middle finger here. So this part, I recommend doing it this way so you can let it all ring out. But when we go to the main riff, and I'm going to palm mute. Put my palm on the back of the guitar here on the bridge, and I'm just strumming down this A chord, and then the main riff goes. Like that. So after you go slowly, then D. We got to keep this D pedal tone like this going through this riff. So let's break this down. Chords first, then the actual pattern, the way it's played. So it's D. I'm just playing open D, the A on the G string, and the D on the B. And then that's an A to a G. There's a riff, back to a D major. So what we're doing is this chord, and then we're going to play open D, and this is a part of an A major. But we're playing the major 3rd and the 5th. So it sounds like this. And then we're going to slide the same chord down into this position, which is a G. So basically he's going A to G, but we're going. It's very 80s sounding. They had the. Okay. like jump in a way. So that first part is, we're going to go very fast. So we're sliding from the G string on the 5th fret up to the 7th fret, and then the 5th fret on the high E, and then we're going to play these 2 strings together, which is a major chord. It's a D chord. It's a part of a D. Eddie liked to break chords up in small pieces. He didn't like to play full-on Beach Boys chords like this. He liked major thirds and minor thirds with pedal tones. So we're going. So we'll take that first part. And so we're going to go slowly. Once more. If you notice I'm not doing, well, I'm going, you kind of got to lay off of it during that. So the next part does the same part in the beginning. Then we're going to go C to a G. So it goes C twice, then G. So what I'm doing, I'm taking it like we play this D major up this way. The C is right down there, just 2 frets. It's like this. But we're just going to play these 2 notes. G and B string on the 5th fret. So the whole lick goes in slow-mo. Okay, so it does that a few times, and then when we come out of that, it goes, and then it goes. So we're gonna go into this. I guess it can be considered like a pre-chorus. So after we go. So at the very end of that phrase, when it's about to go into this pre-chorus, we go up to this. We're gonna go up to a D, but we're gonna do a D sus4. It's like going. Like Summer of '69. We're gonna go. And this is a really cool chord because you can play the D and you can be like. Like that. So we're gonna go down to an A. So it comes out of that verse part like. Cool. Now we're pedaling on the A. This is an A sus2 chord, like, all right, like Girl Gone Bad. But we're up here. Now, why that's an A sus2 is if you take a D major chord like this, okay, and you go up D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Aha. We're on the A. This is an A. That's our A. Like in a D chord, that's our D. So go up to our A. And basically all that is, you can make like a C shape. That's an A. 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 A. Lots of A's, right? I'm starting to sound like the Fonz. A. All right. So we're going to go. And what we're taking is this D chord. And I always play this A chord, I play my D chords like this. Most everybody will teach you to play them like this. That's probably right, but I consider it wrong because you can go minor, you can go sus. So when you're up in a position like this, it lets you do that. So the D major, or the A major chord, which is like the D shape, is here, but we're gonna go, okay, very pretty sounding. So when we add the low A to it, we're just arpeggiating it. So I'm just hitting a low A like that. So let me rewind when it goes. Then we're gonna go. We're just doing a D sus4 3 times, but it's syncopated. That's what makes Van Halen stuff so cool. Alex is playing this really cool drum part that only Al could come up with to Eddie's rhythmic playing, and they play off of each other, and every part of the song is deliberate and intentional. Eddie didn't improvise any of this stuff. He probably did when he wrote the lick, but everything he does in here has purpose, and it's a really good testament to how good of a studio musician and perfectionist Eddie was, because this song is performed flawlessly. It's meticulous. So that's the lick. Then we're going to go D sus4, and then resolve, and then we're going to. So I'm taking, this is a G, back up to an A. So what I'm doing there is kind of a little tricky thing. So I went, he slides. You can kind of hear those notes ringing. So after he goes, then he goes, pedal tone, and that's how that phrase ends. That's a little bit different of a variation. Then you go. Here's the next part. We're almost done, so thanks for your patience. So I'm back down on this A, and we're going to do a sus4. So we're going. So I'm doing the sus, and then, so we're going right up, palm muting. Which is a G. And there's this A chord. This is an A sus2. But we're putting the 2 right there instead of going. We're going to play it like this. So it's a G string on the 4th fret. So after we go G. So what I did there, that little riff between those 2 chords. G. I went right up to G, and then this A sus4 thing, then he stops and he goes. Back to this. It's fun. Okay, there's one last part to this song, and it's the bridge part where he goes. So that bridge is, it's pretty simple. Here's where it comes back to like what he does in the beginning, kind of. We're on a G. So what I recommend you do is play this G with your middle finger and don't play any other strings. Mute the low A string with the fat of your middle finger. And we're just gonna play the open D and the G string. So, and then the riff. There's that little riff in there. So that riff is going to be during this whole part. So we're going to do the G for 2 bars. And you got to play this riff with your pinky and then your pointer finger on that D string. So and then we're going to do a C. C, where I'm going to put my middle finger on this C. Then we're only going to do 1 bar here. We're going to put our pointer finger on the B. And then B flat. Resolve the A, then go. Like that, it goes back into the riff. And then it just goes back into the, and that's how the song ends. And that's the end of Ripley. So I hope this lesson made sense. Happy birthday, Eddie. Please consider subscribing. And hey, I got merch. I'll drop a link to my merch store. I got shirts, I got coffee cups. Don't feel obligated, but if you want some Marty 5150 merch, feel free to take a look at the page. I'll drop a discount code in there at some point when I get one created. And till next time, have a great day. Peace out.